everyone, long time no see. As promised, I like to talk about introverted feeling or Avai. To me personally, Avai is about my own state of happiness. It's not about the group state of happiness. It's not about others' happiness. It's about your own. And Avai moods change um, frequently, throughout the day, and they check all of their own feelings, emotion, mm, like, and what makes them happy, what makes them unhappy, um, and well, they them feeling goes up and down a lot, but it doesn't matter. They want to eventually want to go back to the state of happiness again. So, well, overall, in a very simple definition, I think Avai is about your own happiness and how to make yourself happy. So, I actually want to mention the two judging assets first to actually compare them, just in order to stand out Avai among other functions. And I like to talk about the TI-AVI assets first. And I actually named this assets, a name, right? I don't think everybody named that assets with the other name before, but I made up myself one, and I named the TI-AVI assets the non-self assets. So basically, it's just something else that not the self, that not yourself. It could be relationship, or it doesn't have to be relationship, but it's just other thing, not yourself. And like why, you just ask why. So it's easy, to like explain every as a non-self function, like as a, again, relationship functions. Yeah, because it's care about harmony, right? And as the last video I say that Abby is about maintaining the relationship. It's about two or more people. But with TI, you think that what's the heck? Why is it the non-self function? So it's called introverted thinking, right? It's introverted, but it's not actually introverted. Like, it's still introverted, but it's not. So like, I know some people say that TI is the function that is about the truth. TI is all about the truth. But some people disagree, say that no, it's not about the truth. It's just about maybe your own consistency. So I just want to clarify a bit. I believe that we are not the true creator. We are not God. Not everything we say will become the truth. No. We are actually the true fighter. So we believe there are truths out there, solution, answer, whatever you want to say, is out there. It's in the outer world. And we are, as a researcher, fighter, scientist, whatever name you call, we go out there, we find those outer answers. So we are kind of like the messenger, just to deliver the news. We don't create anything, any truth, we don't. So you will see that even though it's introverted, TI introverted, whatever we say, we don't decide it. We don't decide that this is true. We don't. We rely on the outward truth, the universal truth, like the truth from the universe. We rely on the universe. The universe, you know, has our back, right? The universe back us up, back TI up. So it's all about Abby and TI is all about rely on something else that's not the self, that's not us. We believe that there's an answers out there and we just find it. We trust them. Seriously, we trust them more than ourselves. We believe that we must rely on them. We must listen to something else outside our own self. Because we don't think our own selves is perfect. We must rely on other, on the group, because we think that we know, we believe that we are in that group. And if the group say something, you must listen to the group says. And if you go against the group that you're in, then you're basically killing yourself, right? And to TI, as only one Jew, like if you go against the Jew, then you're wrong. Like either you're right or you're wrong. That's it. There are only two choices. So if you know that, if everybody knows that they follow the Jew, they agree, and they follow the Jew, they know their own job, that this is the best way to do things, then it creates harmony. Everything runs smoothly, right? Don't you see it? Harmony. No mistakes, no fighting, no conflicts, nothing. It's create a harmony state. And this is how TI and Abby connected. And it's all about relying on something else, could be the universe, whatever you think, but it's not the self. And then I want to talk about the Abby TE axis. Basically, I just want to talk about all four judging functions for you guys. And you can guess the name of this axis is the self axis. It revolves around the self. To TI users, you know, it's kind of like their own self is already the universe, and it's actually true. You know, it's not something outside yourself in the universe. Well, it's it, but inside yourself is also the universe. We are all the universe. We are all connected. But to TEFI users, they take full responsibility for themselves because they believe they are the one make the decision, 100% decisions by themselves. They don't rely on anything else than the self, their own self. So because they take great responsibility, and I already say about FI in the beginning, it's about your own state of happiness. And TE also has FI, so they also really care about their own happiness, and then they take responsibility for every action they make. So you will see that they are like perfectionists. They don't want to make any mistakes. um, at all cost, because it will unbalance their own state of happiness. When they make any mistake, they are not happy anymore. They want to fix that mistake to redeem, to take back my own happiness. And to T, yeah, they know, especially high T user, they know that there are solutions out there for them to help them. They can get solutions to just make their life better. But you see, it's all still about their own happiness. It's not about others' happiness. They only care about their own scope, area. What they care about can be people, I don't know, their own companies, their family, or only their own self. It doesn't matter what they care about, but it's not everything. It's not other, and it's usually including themselves. And to them, as long as all of these things are perfect, then they are happy. TFI users, they are happy. They are content with their life. They think their life is complete. And basically, because they don't rely on the outer solutions to decide, right? They don't listen to others, so they listen to themselves. So there must be a voice in themselves that telling them what to do. So especially with high FI users, they don't really care about the solution itself. Like, what is the solution? They don't care. They only care that if that solution make them happy. If this make me happy or not, that's the most important question for FI. So as long as they are happy, then nothing else matters. Yeah, like the basic job, the most important job is to be happy, to not feel any remorse, regrets, anything at all afterward, after every action they make. So whatever action they try to make, they ask themselves, TIFV user ask themselves, if this action brings me happiness, if will I have no remorse afterwards? Will I have no regrets? Am I guilty or not if I make this decision? And it's just basically a sense of right and wrong about every action they make, and their own self decides. And I actually, there's a name for that reminder inside, the voice inside themselves telling them. It's actually my own concern, your concerns. And everybody has concern. Basically, I believe that FI is another word for concerns. And when I look up Google online, like what's the definition of consonance, it says that it's an inner feeling or voice viewed as acting as a guide to the rightness or wrongness of one's behavior. And the synonyms are moral sense, son of right and wrong, morals, son of right, values, inner voice, voice within, standards, still small voice. So isn't it FI? Oh my god. I was actually pretty surprised. But yeah, I believe have I listened to their concerns very closely, and they, whatever they do, they want to abide by their own concern. They ask their own concern that, am I happy or not if I make this action at all? And TE user also recognize their own concern in themselves too, but they may prioritize their TE a bit more. But overall, everything they do, they listen and they please their own concern. Because if their concern telling them that what you're doing is right, you will be happy afterward. You feel no regrets afterward if you do the action, then they definitely do that. That's it. It revolves around the voice within themselves, that voice. And it's about the self because they take the full responsibility. Nobody else take the blame for them. So if they want to be happy 100%, they have to listen to their own concern 100%. So now I want to talk about FI positions. Whatever is in your stack, how it behaves differently. So I want to talk about FI as your third and fourth function first. And I have a theory. I'm not sure if anybody have a similar theory or not, but it's my theory. That whatever the functions in your top four functions, so if it's the first, the second, the third, the fourth function, is in your constant part, is in your constant function, which means you acknowledge its trace in yourself. You know that you own the trace. You know that you use the trace. So if FI is in your first, second, third, fourth functions, then like spot, then you acknowledge FI in yourself. You know that you use FI. So if it's in the fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth, then it's in your shadow or unconscious part. So it's become your unconscious function. So it means that you don't acknowledge the trace of that function in yourself. You don't own that trait. It's not your own identity, basically. It's someone else's identity. And so I want to talk about FI in the third and fourth function first, and it's in your is still your conscious functions. And the high T user, whenever I say high T, which means that your TE must be in the first or second spot. So with high T user, they have FI in the third or fourth slot, which means that they acknowledge FI traits in themselves. They know that they use FI, even though they know that it's not perfect though. Their FI is not perfect. But they use them sometimes. And they may try to develop FI too throughout their life. So basically, they still do things that please their FI. They want to be happy, and they will, because it's TE, they want to find solutions out there that make them happy the most, right? Like they are very good at like detecting any solution that make their life better. You know, gain the most gain for themselves. And they believe, because they is extroverted, they believe that, like people say to them that this is if you do something, if you do this, you achieve these goals, these stuff, then you will be happy. And they believe that. And then maybe their parents say that if you successful, if you get a wife, a husband, if you have money, a lot of money, then your life is just perfect. You will be happy. And they do those things. They try to achieve those things to achieve their own happiness, their own FI. And sometimes there's a void inside themselves, their own happiness, like they don't feel happy. Like the void inside themselves, like, hey, I know I know you try to like work hard to be happy, but I don't really feel happy. Like the thing that they do right now, they don't feel like it's make them happy, but they still do it. They still use that solution, even though they don't feel happy in themselves. They still do it, and because they just believe in the outer world that how happiness is defined. But in the end, they just realize that they are miserable. Their FI is miserable. They're constantly telling them that you are unhappy. So then they know what makes them happy. They actually take care more, of what makes them truly happy, and they don't listen to the what the world says anymore about what to do to be happy. Or they actually want to be respected more than happy. So sometimes they ignore their own happiness, that's what I mean. But they know that they should develop their own happiness. That's their goal. And eventually they develop FI. So it is that how FI, I believe, works in as a third and fourth functions. So if it's the fifth or sixth function, it's lower, right? And the interesting thing is, Dom, I think high FE user, when I say high FE user, which means that FE is your first or second function, then FI is your fifth or sixth function. And it's in your shadow, your unconscious part, which means FE user, high FE user don't recognize FI traits in themselves. So, and I already mentioned again that the FETI axis is the non-self axis. And FI is in your unconscious part, so which means that it's basically your unconscious part is yourself. Is the self axis, and you aren't aware yourself, like the things in yourself you aren't aware that you have a voice in yourself. You rely on the outer universe your whole life. Your consciousness only know about the outer universe. You don't know about anything inside here. So they see FI traits in others, and they kind of get jealous though of high FIE users, because their whole philosophy is all about I must give to take. So like I must give more and more to gain back more. It's all about relationship. It's all about relying on each other. It's all about mutual benefits. So they may jealous of FI because they think that FI is selfish, because you don't do those things. You don't do what I do. You don't sacrifice like I do. How can you own your own happiness? How can you be happy? Like, how? You don't have the right. You don't you don't do anything to earn that joy that I want. Like, I do that, but I am not happy yet. I still, like T and Avi users, I think they still aware that they want to be happy, right? They still aware that they want to be happy in the end. So, but with Avi, they have to serve the group, because they believe that they're in the group, and if they go against the group, then they kill their own happiness. If the group happy, then they are happy because they are in the group. So yeah, they know that they want to be happy eventually, but this is the only way they believe to make them happy. They don't think that, okay, I can make themselves happy, my own self, and I don't have to please other. It's different. I don't have to please both. Or sometimes they ignore their own self too. They just please others. So it's just about completely rely on the non-self access, and they don't listen to their own self, their own unconscious judging function that is the self access. And they are jealous of Avi because they take away their own right to feel happy, to just listen to yourself. They don't have that trait in themselves. They don't do it like Avi do. They take away that right, so they don't understand how other people can be that way. Do you see it? Because they don't see the trait in themselves. They don't get it why other people have that trait, right? Like have Avi. It's like what you don't acknowledge in yourself, you don't acknowledge in others. It's a mirror. So it's a bit, you can see that it's a bit worse, right? when Avi is going down. And okay, I want to talk about the 7 and 8 functions. Avi as the 7 and 8 function. And well, it's not something fun, but I have to say it. And so if Avi is in your 7 or 8 function, it means that you are high TI user. So which means TI is either in your first or second function. So again, Avi is in your unconscious part, which means you don't acknowledge Avi in yourself at all, and is the self access. So which means you don't really listen to yourself, the voice within yourself. So I say that Avi is about conscience, right? So it's kind of like they don't listen to their own conscience. And also they are not aware of their own happiness at all. Seriously, this is me. we seriously, we never have a thought that we have to make ourselves happy. No, it's not in our dictionary, because we believe that the universe backs us up. I don't care if I'm happy or not. I just know that I have the best solution. I find the best solution for me. Nobody else give me better solution than mine. I am the one that actually do the work to get the best solution, to get the ultimate truth. So I hope, like the best tool to help me. I don't care about myself because I don't think that I am perfect. I don't think I can rely on myself the most. I rely on the universe, like the true the elders do the most. They back me up. Whatever I say, the universe will back me up with its proof, and I can prove it. And I trust it. I trust the elder solution completely because I know that they are 100% accurate. So they don't consider their own feelings, their own voice within themselves to decide. They don't TI users. And so yeah, that's why to FI users, TI users can seem like they are immoral or something because they have no concern in themselves, or they don't listen to their own concern because they trust the elder solution more. So I want to talk about FI as your first or second function. And if you are an INFP or an ISFP, you have FI as your first function. So the A function, the lowest functions is TI. And I believe that the opposite function of FI is not FE, is not TE, but it is TI. We are the opposite of you. TI users are the opposites of FI users. So TI users will see FI users that they has no sources that back them up at all, like nothing out, no outer sources that back their belief, that what they believe, what they doing, every action they do, they have nothing to back their own action. That's how TI views FI. But FI, when they view TI, they don't see the voice within TI. They don't see TI has concern in himself. They don't see anything inside himself. Like he is empty. He doesn't have anything that inside himself that guide him to the right path. So they see the traits that are in themselves lack in the opposite function, the opposite users. So they don't understand each other at all. It's nothing, like they're nothing to relate with each other, with FI and TI users. So to TI users, FI users live in the happy bubble. It's like to TI, FI creates its own happy bubble, and as long as they are happy, nothing else matters. They don't see other things that are going wrong. As long as I am happy with myself, I am content with my life, and that's what matters. And TI isn't confused because, but also TI actually see FI is very accepting, and also they kind of admire FI too because they want to be happy that way, but because they just can't. They just think that okay, you kind of like, they think that FI users are blind, but because you are blind with a lot of things, with a lot of with a lot of things that are wrong in the world. So FI users just accept things that they are. And with And FI users, when they think of TI, they think that TI users should try to break their happiness, their state of happiness, that the state that they build, they want to protect that. And FTI user just comes in and break it apart, split it apart, you know, like just throw them the harsh facts, harsh truths in life, and tell them that they are stupid. Because, you know, you should be better, you should do better. And if you follow, if FI follows what TI say, like the TI solutions, then they can be happier than what they are now. They could be. But because your stupid soul, FI refuses. I am just saying in the way that FI thinks of TI, that the FI thinks that TI is harsh, that how, okay, I don't care if I'm stupid or not, but you don't have to say to me that I am stupid, because you hurt me. Like, I am hurt right now. I am not happy anymore. You break it. That's what I care the most. I don't say that FI users are stupid. Okay, it's just that how FI may think. And it's just how TI might say, you know, they may say it to other people, not only FI, but to other people, that if you don't get what I get, then, you know, you should try. But it doesn't mean that TI is always right. I'm just saying, okay, this, hopefully nobody's offended. And then TE comes in, and this is interesting, because TE see both sides. And I believe TE's shadow, the shadow of TE. And TE can see TI solution that actually help them gain more and have a potential to make them happier. And TE may talk to FI that, hey, if you have a good TE, like TE can like say, hey, I can see all the benefits here, and it's possible that you can be happier if you follow this solution. If you apply this solution, your life will be better. And FI may agree, like if you talk to FI in the way that make them just that if you do this action, you will be happy, you have no regrets, then compared to right now, then FI will follow. But the thing is, TE just stops when it stop at the area, the scope that they care about. They don't do more. They don't, you know, they don't care about the happiness of other people. Okay, it's just like it's not a good way to say. No, I mean it's like they only care about specific things, specific area, and they don't care about everything. Like AV or TI, we take care of like everything, and even we sacrifice ourselves. But they, TE and FI, emphasize the self more, the self happiness more. So as long as the self is satisfied, then they don't need anything else. That's done. So that done. There's nothing else to do. They finish their job. They accomplish the goals that they want to in the beginning. They don't need to consider every solution if it's, but it doesn't benefit them, their themselves, their own happiness. So TI, even though appreciate his efforts to acknowledge their work, TI still views TE as shallow. You know, TE doesn't dig deeper, doesn't want to see other faults with them. And yeah, and TI can see that, may see that TE users don't see the whole picture, and it may fire back on them in the end. You know, because you don't see everything, you don't consider everything. But sometimes it doesn't that matter, you know. You have to like decide that which option is the best for your situation. So it's not like TI is you have to listen to TI completely or TE completely or FI completely. So yeah, that's how TI versus TE versus FI, how they think of each other, and mostly about FI. So I want to talk about a mirror thing. What I see is like how FI see in themselves, mostly how FI users see in themselves, and then it's like a mirror that they see it in other people too. So whatever you respect in yourself, you respect in others. You acknowledge that trait in others, and you want to protect that trait too. So with FI, they know what make them the most happy, and they avoid what makes them unhappy. So they know what the individual needs to be the most happiness, and everybody is different. Everybody needs certain things completely unique, different, um, you know, things to make them happy. Um, no one's no one's wants the same thing, so they don't want to force the you know the like the happiness definition to others, because it may not correct to that person. You need to, because only you know yourself the most, the best. um so it's not like Avi believe that if you you know if you make the group happy, then you're happy too, you benefit from the group. But with Avi, they don't see that they benefit from the group. They don't see that they're not happy if they follow the group's happiness. They are not happy. Like maybe they still accept something, but they know that they are not the most happy. Something missing. So they don't accept that. They have higher standard. They know what they worth. TFI users, they know what they're worth. How much they worth, how much worthy they are, how expensive, cheap they are. They trust you, they trust themselves, and they trust everybody else based on your action. If your action cheap or expensive, your actions tell about you a lot. So they respect the individual's happiness, and they don't want to force um, like the anything to to the other people. And their happiness is private too. So that's why they respect others happiness, because they think that is the private thing, it's a personal thing. I don't have the right to discuss, because we are all different. And so because also they check for hypocrisy, if they check if you're a hypocrite too. And because they know what is best for them, like what makes them what makes them the most happy, and they want to do that to other people too. They don't want you to like only 50% happy. No, they don't, because it's not it's not 100% nice, right? Like you want the best to yourself, but you don't want the best to people. Like you force other people to be unhappy, then you're a hypocrite, and they check that. So they will check if um if you are authentic with themselves, with yourself. You know what makes you happy the most, right? And so yeah, they actually don't gain anything from other people. They don't gain anything. So they just want you to be happy yourself, because um, they want themselves to be happy too. Advice users don't care if about the solution itself. They only care if anything you do makes you the most happiness, and they check that. They can see that if you're happy or not. Um, they see it very well, because they know where they know that when you are the most happiness, when you're like doing something and when you are not. So when you say that I'm happy, but they know that you're not, so they say, okay, be yourself. Do you think it's worth it to follow the action? Do you feel happiness, completely content with yourself, like you will feel the most peaceful in the end if you follow these action? Or they ask you about those questions, because they may see that you aren't being honest with yourself. You kind of you're not happy when you're saying you're happy. So they don't it doesn't matter what the solution is. They just want to be sure that you are happy with what you choose. And yeah, that's the most important thing for them. So this is the last thing I wanna say. And I am an ENTP, and this is not how I use FI at all. It's just what I recently discovered about FI. And I may say something wrong, and I am sorry. I just want to try their best to understand FI and to share with you. So I will talk about FI in myself personally, how I use FI before. So I never consider my own happiness. I don't care, and I already talked in the TI section already. And basically, my whole life I found solution that benefit everybody. They know that that's the best solution, and you should follow it. Or if you shouldn't go against it, because basically you're killing yourself. Because there's only two choices. Either you're right or you're wrong. And if you're wrong, you kill yourself. You end your life. But I don't see people do the same for me. I don't see they consider me in their decision at all. And I don't, I don't talk about the love that I must receive. I don't think so. I think about the benefit that, like, okay, I do. So like I put my effort to find the best solution, but you don't do the same. But you can do the same if you try, but you don't try. So we actually criticize your ability more, like your ability to refuse to learn, to refuse to see the best solution for yourself. But then you just keep saying wrong things. You believe in wrong things, and that bug us TI users. And then you demand us to like listen to you, but we know that you are wrong. So we don't talk about the feeling side. We don't. We talk more about the benefit. Like, okay, if you do this, it may not get, but like I would talk to other non-TI user, or I don't know, even TI user too. So if they don't see what I see and they don't agree with me, then I say, okay, I don't agree with your solution at all. It's not gonna work. And yeah, that's what bugged me the most. But then again, so like I am hurt. I actually hurt. I'm hurt that they don't value my point. Um, it's like, it feels so lonely, you know? And then, but then I just think that, okay, I don't have to please other people. I don't have to like, you know, ignore, even though I'm unhappy. But I just have to listen to myself, and I don't need to find solution that satisfy everything. I just, as long as I do what I like, I value my own happiness, nothing else matters. And I think that's my advice. Um, so nowadays, I just do what I like, and I know I am happy, and that's enough. That's enough, and that's the definition of advice. I don't care that if my work is not as perfect as I hope, but I am happy right now. And I don't need other people telling me that you're doing something wrong. Okay, I think that's the end. Thank you guys so much if you like follow till the end. It's a long video, but seriously, Ava is beautiful. When I discovered it, I didn't, I have no knowledge about Ava before, and I don't value it. I didn't value it. I did not, value. But now, I I am telling myself all the time that you should do what makes you happy, and it's Ava, and I am grateful for Ava.